Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I am here on the Challengers world on my level 260 Blaze Wizard. And in this video, I'm going to tell you guys about what to do after level 260 because now what, right? I've been getting asked constantly, now what? What do I do? How do I get gear better than Challengers gear? Well, like, I already beat the missions. Now what? What do I have to do? Now, there's probably a lot of people watching this video in a similar position where maybe you're done with the item burning missions, or maybe you are close to finishing the item burning missions, and you are also hyper burned. So you're level 260 and you have like the basic hyper burning gear like event rings, the free dominator pendant, free boss accessory gear. So now what? Like, what do I do? How do I increase my CP higher? How do I get better gear? Where do I go with my gear after the Challengers gear? Because the Challengers gear is pretty good, right? Like, it's 19 star, has an 8 set effect, has a really good flame, has a pretty good potential too. So what do I do now? Well, before I tell you what happens, I want to remind you guys that subscribing is by far the best way to support me and this YouTube channel, and it allows me to continue to keep doing this stuff. So if you're not subscribed, please consider it. Also, come to the live stream. It's also very fun where you could see what I do live in real time. Ask me any question you want, have fun with the community, and of course join the Discord where you can also get help with anything you want and also join the community. Now, with that out of the way, I want to remind you guys of a few things because maybe it's your first time playing this game. Maybe you came back after a really long time and you don't know what it's like after 260. So let's just go down a little bit of a checkbox and make sure that we're doing everything properly once you hit 260, right? Just so everybody's on the same page. And if you haven't done any of these things, let's make sure that you do them. So I'm going to have them on the screen here. The first one is let's unlock our 6th job. So if you didn't unlock your 6th job, go unlock your 6th job. Get it, get your origin skill, use the frags and free energy that you get to unlock your mastery so you could get a lot stronger. 6th job is a huge power boost, right? If you want to unlock your 6th job, it's just in the light bulb. It'll say 6th job, follow that, go through it. The next thing you have to do is Cernium. So make sure you unlock Cernium. You got to think of Grandis, this entire Grandis region here, Continental Grandis. This is basically just like the Arcane River 2.0, where just like the Arcane River where you had dailies and you unlocked a bunch of areas, this is the new thing where 260 plus every 5 levels you reach a new area and you continue on from there. So make sure you unlock Cernium and you familiarize yourself with the new dailies. You're going to see the new dailies in the Maple Planner over here. You're going to see Cernium Research and Urda Request. Do these dailies every single day. They're very important. You get the Sacred Symbol, which helps you do a lot more damage and mob in the area, and you get the fragments and energy, which allows you to upgrade your 6th job skills. The third thing I would say is take some time to actually learn your class, because there might be a lot of you who aren't quite realizing that you can gain a lot of damage just from learning your class a lot more. The reason why I mention it now at 260 is because once you're 260, you're going to have your entire class kit unlocked. Some classes, they change a pretty significant amount when they unlock their 6th job, especially when you unlock your 1st and 2nd mastery skills, which are these pink ones on the top right. So take some time, join your class Discord, maybe watch some videos about your class, learn what your burst rotation is, learn what your DPS looks like, because that's going to help you a lot in the future. You're going to be doing a lot more bosses moving forward, and you're going to really want to know how your class functions so that you don't do 0 damage, obviously, right? The fourth thing on this list is make sure you are doing all of your dailies and all of your bosses. The most important daily that you have to be doing right now when it comes to bossing is Golux daily. You have to do Golux daily and Arcarium daily. These 2 dailies are what's going to lead me to my next point on how you can get better gear after the Challengers gear. You get them from doing Golux every day, Arcarium every day. Super important to do. Make sure you're clearing these on their highest difficulty every single day, and you have to be very consistent about it. That's how you're going to get better gear in the future. When it comes to weekly bossing, this is going to depend on how much combat power you have. If you're somebody like me who's around 14 mil CP and you have like over 1,000 arcane force, you can join a Chaos Tenebris party, Hard Lucid, Hard Will party, Hard Lotus, Hard Damien party, and clear the bosses. Now that might sound crazy. Right? Like, what are you talking about? Are you insane? I don't want to do a min clear. Okay, that's up to you. Don't do a min clear then. But I'm just letting you know that you can join these parties, you can struggle them, and you can clear. And that's also how you're going to get better gear in the future. Now, to be honest with you, we are not on Kronos. We are not on Hyperion. We are not in any other world. We are on the Challengers world. So everybody on this server is weak. You can't just like brute force these bosses. You have to actually kind of put yourself in the shoes of the people who first cleared these bosses back in the day at low damage, and you have to try and learn the boss mechanics and do them at low damage. There's no other way, right? Or you just don't clear the bosses for a really long time because you can't get carried, right? Nobody's strong. Like, this world has only been out for a couple weeks, so what are you supposed to do? You have to learn the bosses the hard way. And the last thing that I want to mention, the fifth thing on this list of stuff to do when you're 260 is do High Mountain. Now, this might suck. Probably is going to take like at least an hour, but it's so worth doing. You get a lot of XP and you get a lot of fragments and soul urta that you can use to upgrade your 6th job. Oh, actually, there was another thing, bonus thing, is make sure you do Monster Park Extreme. Now, I would recommend doing this on Sundays. Oh, but wait, the Monster Park XP isn't amplified on Sundays anymore. That's true, but since you could do Monster Park Extreme 2 times, you can get the Sunday box. You can get the Sunday box, 2 of them, if you do it on a Sunday. So I would highly recommend doing it on Sunday so you get the Sunday box. If you don't know why the Sunday box is important, if you open it, it gives you 2x coupons. So it's better than the other boxes. Don't be like this guy wasting his time making his own food. You gotta get back to getting gains on MapleStory. If you spend an hour a day making yourself food, you would be missing out on around 4.5 billion messes a week and like 200 fragments. That's why I partnered up with Factor to give you guys fresh, never frozen, gourmet meals straight to your door. I've tried it out myself and the food is unironically good and takes only 2 minutes to be ready. My community loves it too. So stop being dumb and wasting all your mesos and get Factor using my link below to get 50% off your first box and free shipping. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, and thank you Factor for sponsoring, and enjoy the rest of the video. Anyway, so now that all of that's out of the way, let's talk about what exactly replaces the Challengers gear and how you get it. All right, so what I've created here on the left, this is my current equips from the Challengers world. So I have all of the Challengers gear. I have the free boss accessories, free event rings, free Dominator pendant, right? Nothing crazy. I got the fairy heart for free. Pro tip, actually, if you're trying to get a android, you could do the Grand Athenium chapter 7 and get an android for free. Or you could do auto harvest and buy the auto harvest android as well. I have a legendary emblem, and right now I'm about 14 mil CP. Now, towards the end of the video, I will show you guys how I got to 14 mil CP, because I guarantee you there's definitely some people watching that are like, huh? Like, how the hell did you get to 14 mil CP? My gear pretty much looks the same as yours, but why is my CP so much lower? So I'm going to show you later. Anyways, I've also created this on the right here. These are what your equips are going to look like, hopefully, by the end of the Challengers world. This is what we're aiming for, and this is the goal, right? And this is what we want to try and hit. Now, I'm going to explain to you why you want your equips to look like this and what star you want everything to be at. So first of all, event rings are okay. The reason why event rings are okay is because an event ring is similar to a 17-star Kana's treasure. Like, they have pretty good stats, so it's okay to actually have an event ring. Now, Kana's treasure, this is a ring that you get from doing Princess Snow. So Princess Snow is a boss that can give you a ring that could go up to 22, which is the Kana's treasure ring. So you want to do it every single week, right? So I'm just going to write W, which stands for weekly. Golux ring, superior Golux ring, superior Golux set. This is something that you have to do dailies for. You have to do dailies to get the superior ring. So I'm going to put a D next to it because it's from a daily. Arcarium Dominator pendant. So this is another daily. You just have to keep doing Arcarium daily every single day, and then you'll get one to drop. Superior pendant, same thing. You do dailies for Golux, and you'll eventually be able to buy one. Superior belt, this is dailies. Hopefully one drops. Same with the earring. Hopefully one drops. And I'll tell you how to increase the likelihood of getting one from a drop as well in a bit, but I'm trying to make a point here. Black bean mark is a daily and a weekly, right? You just do pink bean, and then you'll get one to drop eventually. Twilight mark, this is a weekly from Lucid and Will. Eventually one will drop, but alternatively for the face and slot, you could do Sweetwater. Sweetwater is just a daily, and you're guaranteed to get them, and the items are actually pretty strong. So you could do Sweetwater. If you don't mind doing dailies, you could do like Commercy and get the Sweetwater gear. And that's what I'm doing personally, because I don't want to wait that long, and I think getting Commercy gear even at 17 star while you wait for the other gear is pretty good value. CRA, these are weeklies, right? You eventually just get them from clearing CRA. And then Arcanes, these are also weeklies that can drop. And since you have the item burning gear for approximately 4 months, the likelihood of getting at least one of each armor or one weapon within 4 months of clearing C10 and Loosen Will every week is actually pretty high. But this goes back to my earlier point of you have to practice the bosses, you have to learn them, because the sooner you learn them, the higher likelihood you get drops happen because you'll clear the bosses earlier. So maybe you've noticed a pattern so far with all of these equips. All of these equips that you get past the Challenger's gear, like how you transition out of Challenger's gear, literally just comes from doing dailies and weeklies and playing the game over a long period of time. There's no way to shorten this experience, right? If you want to get the arcanes, you either buy them with droplets, but then you need the droplets from the bosses, so you have to clear the bosses, or you wait for them to drop, which is the way I recommend. If you want Golux gear, you just have to do Golux every single day, wait for the items to drop, or get the coins. If you want a Princess Snow Ring, you have to do it every week, wait for it to drop. Same with Twilight Mark, same with Black Bean Mark, same with Dominator Pendant. You do it daily, wait for it to drop. So chances are you guys probably aren't even doing anything wrong. And the reason why it's confusing is because the speed of which you progress in the early game, 0 to 260, is very fast. Nexon has designed the game so that 0 to 260 is lightning fast. Like, you have Hyper Burning Max, you get good gear through the Challenger's gear and all that stuff very quickly. So then you question yourself, it's like, oh, why is my gear not changing as fast as it used to? So am I doing something wrong? No, you're actually not doing anything wrong. It's just that the gear after this point takes a while. You have to play the game for months and do your dailies every day, do your weeklies every week, and then eventually you'll get the gear. You're not even doing anything wrong. It's just a patience game. So now let's talk about what stars you want to get the gear to beat the Challenger's gear, because obviously if you have 17 star CRA gear, for example, the Challenger's gear is at 19 star. It's literally better, right? So this is what I would also put as my goal. So the rings, you want to 17 star them. Superior belt, if possible, you could 20/21 it. The reason why you want to do that is because you can transfer from pink bean belts that you collect every single day to the Golux belt. Arcanes, you just want to 17 them. 17 arcane is basically just as good as the Challenger gear, if not just a little bit better. So I would definitely 17 star the arcanes, especially the glove. You want to get it to legendary and crit damage. That's going to be really good value. CRA gear, you're definitely going to want to 21 it. If you 21 it, it's definitely going to be better than the Challenger's gear. And then everything else can literally just stay at 17 stars. And if you do this, right, let's say you're consistent with the dailies, and actually the earring can go to either 20 or 21 for the same reasons. You could transfer Golux to it. If you do this, right, and you're consistent with the dailies and you're consistent with the weeklies, by the end of the Challenger's world, there's actually a pretty high likelihood that your gear looks like this. It's very highly likely that this happens. Now, obviously there will be some people that won't get any drops because they're just unlucky, right? But over a 4-month period, or let's say 3-month period, let's say it takes you a month to even get to the point of doing C10 bosses because you need to practice a lot, it's actually pretty likely that your gear looks like this if you're consistent with the dailies and weeklies. If you do this, right, you get to this point, you're probably going to be hovering around 40 mil CP, maybe even higher. And once you're at this point, and let's say you're level 275 or higher, you can go for even higher gear, like starting to do black mage parties. You could even solo the C10 bosses or duo them so that you can get even more money and high likelihood of drops. You can start getting pitch. You can start getting a lot of shit. So this is the goal. This is the goal after the challenge gear, which you want to work on. But remember what I said. What is it that you have to work on? You just have to keep doing the dailies and keep doing the weeklies, and eventually this gear will drop and you'll slowly replace each piece as you get them. Now, if you get one arcane armor, I also want to mention, like, do you just immediately replace it, right? Probably not. No, because the Challenger's gear set effect is really good. I would say that you don't want to replace anything unless you get a weapon. If you get a weapon to drop right away, then definitely replace the weapon with an arcane weapon. But for the armors, I'd say wait until you get maybe 2 or 3 of them and then replace them with the others, right? So that way you have the arcane set effect as well. Especially the glove. The glove is really good value because you can get crit damage on it, which the Challenger gear doesn't have. So remember how I said I'll show you guys how I'm at 14 mil CP? Well, this is the time that I'm going to show you. So this is my gear. Again, a lot of it is just free gear. Nothing crazy, nothing special, right? The first thing that I spent the bulk of my money on was my emblem. I wanted to get it to legendary so I could get a line of magic attack and a line of IED. IED actually gives you way more damage to bosses than any amount of CP increase when you're this early into the game. The reason for that is because bosses have defense. IED shreds that defense, which gives you more damage on the boss. A tremendous amount. the value of IED becomes extremely high the lower IED you have. But for example, I wouldn't keep funding into IED forever because at the end of the day, like there is diminishing returns. I'd say like once you're close to like 95, 96, probably better to get Magic Tag Attack boss when you're early into the game. So when I boss and I pop all my buffs and stuff, like I'll be around 96. So all I needed was this one line. My secondary is the next thing I want to spend on and try and get to legendary. If you're somebody who needs a Princess No secondary, just wait for that. Or if you need like a shield or something like that, craft a shield. That's what I'm doing. Like I'm just waiting, right? That's why this thing is still epic. And then I'm going to get its legendary, maybe a line of magic, a line of boss, and that's it. The rest of my gear is literally just basic one line int or it's free gear. That's it. Like there's nothing complicated about it at all. It's literally just the challenger's gear, just int lines, nothing crazy. So really the only thing I spent money on was my emblem. Now the reason why my CP might be a little high is factor in a few things. First of all, I have 10% boss damage on my inner ability and have passive +1 and magic attack. My inner ability gives me some CP, right? Depending on what it is, like let's say you have crit rate, attack speed or something like that, like those don't give you CP, so you don't want to necessarily always compare. My hyper stats are optimized, right? I have it to boss, damage, IED, crit damage, and some crit rate. This is what's good for me right now, and this is increasing my CP quite a bit. The other thing I have is the Infinite Flame title. So I got this title from being hyper burned, gives me 20 boss, attack, all stat, and a bunch of stuff, right? This also increases my combat power. Another thing is there are event stats. So I have 25 in boss, 25 IED, and 15 attack, magic attack, right? So this also increases my combat power. I also have this medal from being MVP red, gives me 5 boss, slight increase there. Like if I take it off, I'm at 13.8, right? But that's about it. Like I just slightly optimized and now I'm at around 14 mil. Of course, these are by symbols too. So I have the level 5 symbol from being burned and these are level 14. I haven't trained this character at all. I've literally just been doing dailies and optimizing whatever I can whenever I get it. And that's it. Now this character is almost strong enough to solo Hard Lotus. I did a Hard Lotus run yesterday and I got it to 7% left and then timed out. So it's very, very close. Thing is, Blaze Wizard is on the weaker end of the classes. So if you're playing a strong class and you're 14 mil, you could definitely solo Hard Lotus without a doubt. And as for what I'm going to be doing moving forward, I'm just going to keep playing the game, doing my dailies, doing my weeklies. I'm going to try to struggle clear all of these bosses in a party so that I could start getting arcanes and other things to drop. That's my plan moving forward. I also have my Sia. My Sia also does weeklies like up to normal Lomian basically. So it also gives me money. And that's what I plan on doing. Daily bosses, Ursus, weekly bosses, save as much money as I can, and then try and get my equips to look like this on the right as soon as possible. Now, if anybody is worried about Shining Star Force, which is going to happen basically like next week as of uploading this video, well, to be honest with you, there isn't really much you could do about it. You don't have that much money on the Challengers World unless you've been farming like a maniac. So I wouldn't stress yourself out too much and think like, I gotta get gains on Shining Star Force immediately. Chances are you probably won't be able to. What I'm going to try and do is just get my belt to 21 or something, one of these extra belts with whatever money I'll have. I'll probably have like 3.5 bill or something, and that's it. And just try to get my belt to 21 and then just wear that. And whenever I get a sub belt to drop, I'm just going to transfer it because it's still so early into the world. There's not that much money to be had anyways. That all being said, I do appreciate you guys watching this video. If you have any questions, of course, leave a comment down below. If you have any tips, share them with people in the comments as well. Join the Discord, come to the live stream, try out Factor. It's actually really good and supports me a lot. Anyways, appreciate you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Shout out to my members, Blazefire, Shooms, Shagad, Ravi Espa, Koga, Skittles, Dante Victory, CK, Jay, Kyle, Vampiric X, Fresh and Juicy, Assassin, Henzo, Henrique, and Kelvin. I appreciate you guys so much. And thank you everybody who submitted fan art. You can always submit it in the Discord and it'll be put at the end of every video. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.